Hey guys, this is Kathy with Kathy's Crafty Creations and DIYs. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Guys, I am tickled pink that you're here today, because guess what? I have 4 farmhouse DIYs that I've been working on so hard for you all week, and I hope you like them as much as I do. And in this video, I'm going to take you guys out back so you can see the progress of my little she shed. Like, we realized that I outgrew my craft room a while ago, and we started building a building on the back of my garage, and it's going to be my little she shed / craft room. Well, craft room only. But anyways, we'll get to that in just a little bit. But right now, let's jump into these DIY so you can see what I've been doing for you all week. Starting right off on DIY number 1, we're going to make a flower wall plaque out of these metal flowers that you get from the Dollar Tree. They come on the long stems like this, and they also come on these little welcome signs. They're awesome to do DIYs with. So I have my apple barrel burnt umber paint that we're going to take, and we're going to paint the frame of this canvas. I got this canvas at Goodwill for 99 cents. It had a canvas picture on the front of it, and I didn't like it. I took the canvas off of it, and that's what I plan to do, is to paint the frame with the apple barrel burnt umber paint. It had 2 little screws in the top of it, and I realized I had to take the top part off in order to paint. So it only needed 1 coat of paint in order to get the job done. So after I got finished painting my frame, I got out my little measuring stick and I measured it, because I'm going to make an exact replica of it. I think it was a 7-inch by 7-inch frame. It may have been a 6 by 6. But anyway, I made the exact replica because all I need is the corners of each corner. And I know that probably doesn't make any sense. So what I did was I went to the 2-inch mark on the top, the 2-inch mark on the bottom of each corner, and I would draw a line from the 2-inch to the 2-inch there. Okay, does that make sense whenever I hold it this way? See, I just made a straight little line. All I'm needing is the very tips of each corner. So I cut all 4 of my little corners out. Those are my tips. I hope that makes sense now. So I took my little tippies and I colored them with the burnt umber by Apple Barrel. We're going to stick those up in the corners, almost to make it look like it's got little pieces there. I hope it'll all make sense when it all comes together. I'm so excited about the way this turned out, guys. You're going to love this. It's beautiful. So I take the Waverly Antique Wax, and I did 1 quick pass over also on top of that apple barrel burnt umber. So I've got a pack of skewers here that come from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take 2 of these skewers and I'm going to paint them with my Dollar General Store black paint. It's that chalkboard paint that comes from the Dollar General Store. Guys, the original idea for this piece came from Tanisha over at Craft, Eat, and Repeat. She is awesome, and she is a super DIYer. Probably one of the best on YouTube, or one of my favorites. So I'm going to put a link down in my description box. If you get a chance, go by and see the creation that she made. Now mine is very similar to hers, but it's not the same. But I wanted to give her credit and put a link in so you guys could go check out the original creation. I also give the little corner pieces there on the end a little bit of the black distressing. Then I use my paintbrush to distress just a little bit around the frame again. Then I took my Dollar General chalkboard paint and I did one of my favorite techniques. I take the end of a foam paintbrush, like rip the end of it off, the sponge part, or you can use a sponge, and then you just dab along the edges, and that is a cool method of distressing because it gives you a very precise method of distressing, not the type of distressing when you're just like dragging the brush along and distressing, but this is a dabbing type motion. In some way, I already had my corner pieces on, which I didn't even see the footage of that. But anyways, I take my little skewers here, and I'm just seeing where I need to cut them off at. And I cut the sides of those off where it was needed, and I put them down in an X formation. And I just use my hot glue gun to do that. So I took my frame so I could put the top piece back onto it. All I had to do was screw the nails back in there to get it back on. Now it's time to paint our flower. I have my Rust-Oleum in Chiffon Cream, which is a cream color, a beautiful color. And I'm going to put this in super fast motion because it took me a while. I had to do 3 coats on this flower. I figured for time's sake and for the video's sake that I would only show you me painting 1 coat on this flower. And now it's time to do a little bit of distressing. I took my Waverly Mineral colored chalk paint to do a little distressing, and then I took my chalkboard black paint that come from the Dollar General, and I take my little piece of my sponge paintbrush and I'm going along the sides, and this is where I was telling you how I do that touching motion. It's not even, I guess it's dabbing along the edges there, but you see it creates a beautiful, gorgeous distressing method along the flower's edges. If you can see, all I'm doing is just taking and touching all the way down each petal. This is just the most beautiful distressing. It's gorgeous. Then I take and dab the middle too, so that it will be black. I really just took my time, as you can see, because this video is in super fast motion, and I really just took my time. I went down every inch of the petals, and I even went around the frame again and distressed once again, and then I used that mineral color to distress the frame again. Now, I've got 2 of the tumbling tower game pieces, the Jenga blocks, that I'm going to put on the center of the picture. And this is going to be my base for my flower to lay down on, because the flower couldn't just lay on that X. It had like a little valley in the back of it. So I had to put down those 2 Jenga blocks to give it something that it could stick onto. So once I put my 2 Jenga blocks down, I just hot glued that sucker right down on top of there. And guys, I'm so proud of this. Here it is. I think it turned out beautiful. I mean, I literally have, I think the frame was $1.99. For some reason, I want to say it was $1.99. And then, of course, my flour was $1. So I have $2.99 in this picture. And it's gorgeous. Like, the camera's not even doing it justice. It's just really, really a beautiful, beautiful piece. Right into DIY number 2. I've got some Waverly antique wax that I'm going to put on this pallet board sign. I purchased this sign at the Goodwill for $1.99. I felt like all it needed was a little bit of love, so I took my Waverly antique wax and I'm going to give it a good rub down in this. All you do with your antique wax is you just put her on and take it right back off with the rag. And you can do that as many times as you want to, as many coats as you want to get it the desired color that you want. I am so excited, guys, to be showing y'all some pictures of my little she shed. We've been working so hard on this for the past few weeks. It's a building that's actually on the back of my garage, and we've been working on it. It's going to have power, heat and air, and my husband put me 3 big old bright windows in, so I'm going to have a lot of light to do my work. So here I've got that paper that you buy from Hobby Lobby, the cardstock, and it's the wood grain look. All I did was laid it down to see the dimensions that I needed to cut that, and I'm cutting that across to fit it inside my little box. So here I take my glue stick and I put it all over the back because I didn't want a permanent hold, but I did want a good hold. And I've been really liking the glue stick lately and what it can do. I think that it has a lot of advantages over the Mod Podge. It's not as messy and I really do like it. So then I took my hot glue gun and I went all the way around this picture with that nautical rope that you get from the Dollar Tree. So I got this little sign from Hobby Lobby that says grateful. I got it in their wood pile collection. And I go over it with my black chalkboard paint. And when I go across it, I don't do a full coverage. I just kind of lightly wisp over it. And then I go over it with my mineral chalk paint, just lightly. I'm only doing a little distressing. I like to take the mineral and mix it with the black. That way it gives it a really pretty grayish color and it's not that harsh. I use my handy dandy little dryer. And here's that technique again where I like to take the sponge, this little yellow sponge, and I like to go along the edges of things. That's what I'm going to be doing with that black and mineral color. Distress the whole frame. Then I take and hot glue the word grateful down on my little plaque. Then I take some of that lamb's ear that comes from Walmart and I put some in the upper corner and some in the bottom corner with my hot glue gun. And guys, here it is. I'm really, really proud of this one. It's so beautiful and so farmhouse. The only thing that I did different that I didn't have on video is I took 4 of those little tacks that come off of my couch again, because I really like that look on something that I used last week. So I took those, and they're actual tacks, and I clipped off the pointy part, and I just hot glued those suckers on each corner of this. But I am tickled pink over this. I think it's gorgeous. Just so farmhouse, so beautiful, and I'm really, really proud of it. I hope you like it too. Now I get to show you my she shed. This is when we first started. He put a front porch on it for me. This is the inside of it, where he's putting up my lights. And he put me 3 big windows in one side. It's got a total of 5 windows in it, plus of course the door. And there's gonna be plenty of light in there. I'm super excited. He's almost finished with the inside of it. We're almost ready to put the sheetrock in the walls up. And this is where it looked like Sanford and Son, like a junkyard, because like we had everything crammed in the front. But we got it all cleaned back up, got the siding put on, insulation. We are getting so close, guys. I'm so excited. And as time goes on, I will take you with me, and you get to see every inch of the process. So we're going right into DIY number 3. This is a plaque that I purchased at my favorite thrift store for $1.99. And what I did was I took the Waverly mineral colored chalk paint and I painted it. Boom. The power of editing, huh? So here I am with my little handy dandy dryer, and I dry it. And then I take my white Waverly chalk paint, because that's what I'm going to distress it with. I go around the picture with my white, just very wispy like. And then I go back over my picture when I'm finished with the white, once again with the base color, which is that mineral color. And I just very lightly go back over it, and for some reason it helps it to blend in better, and it just looks better that way. Then I get my windmill. And guys, this is one of those windmills that came from Dollar Tree last year, or the top part is. All I did was take a DIY before, and I took a couple of dowels and I just made them in that formation on the back, and then I made my little X's to make, you know, the bottom part of the windmill, and it was a freestanding windmill. I wasn't using it anymore, so I just detached that from the little plaque part that I had done. And that's what we're going to use on my sign, because I believe in reusing and recycling stuff. If you're not going to use it anymore, or you're finished with it, try to find a new use for it, or, you know, get rid of it is the way I look at it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to distress my windmill. And the way that I am distressing my windmill is I'm using that same brush. It's almost dry. It has the white Waverly chalk paint and the mineral colored chalk paint from Waverly already on the brush. Very lightly I go over each and every little, I don't know what those things are called on the windmill. Each and every little piece of it anyways. I go over it, the metal part, and I dab my brush in it every little once in a while, especially on that middle part, because you want that part to look really old, so I put a lot of white around that part. Hey, and don't judge me for this, but I used my finger a little bit for the blending process. If you're an avid crafter, you know that there's always a time and a place. Sometimes that paintbrush just don't do it. Sometimes that sponge just don't do it. Sometimes you gotta get in there with that finger and blend, blend, blend so you can get it exactly the way that you want it. And if I should say so myself, I think it looked ravishing, darling. Now we're getting serious. We pull out the big guns. We got the burnt umber in apple barrel, and I am going to rust this thing up. If you want something to look like it's got rust on it, you use burnt umber from apple barrel. It's like 50 cents from Walmart. The best stuff ever. I haven't found a color that matches or that looks like real rust on an object like this burnt umber. I love it. So then I used my Cricut, and I wanted to spare y'all the hurt and the pain of watching me trying to use my Cricut. I am terrible at getting these letters to stick, y'all. I don't know what it is. I do not have a clue, but I do the best I can. I get my F, my R, and my M, and I finally get them put on there to where it looked like something. And I was actually pretty proud of it. Of course, it took me 2 hours. That's why I was saying I'm sparing y'all the misery because you don't want to see it. So when I get everything worked out and put on there, oh, I did show myself putting the F on there because I thought surely I can do one letter in front of them and not be so embarrassed. But they make it look like it's so easy, and for me, it's just not. I mean, I don't know if it's me, I'm sure it is, or what it is. But anyways, I finally got it on there. Praise to the Lord above. I finally got it on there, y'all. So I decided after all that, I'm going to go ahead and do my distressing. I take my mineral color in Waverly and I go over, all I had was glossy vinyl to do my F, my R, and my M. So I wanted to dull it down a little bit because you don't want that glossy. You want to knock that down some if you can, because everything in Farmhouse is matte, right? So I go over it and I just lightly went over it. It looked great. I took my Power Grab. This is Loctite Power Grab. I like it better than I do the E6000. But I also went behind it with a little bit of E6000 and with my hot glue gun. And after all that, I got my little windmill on there and got it to the position I wanted to get it on. My little windmill spins, by the way, so I'm super proud of that. And I got everything put down there the way I wanted it. A little bit more hot glue because, you know, enough's not enough. A little bit more of that Loctite Power Grab. And then I put a little bit of weight on it and let it set. Then after everything, I decided that it was missing something. It needed a border. So I got my husband to help me to cut the 45 angle in this border that we made for it. And what we did, since I already had put the little windmill on the front, I couldn't like put my border together and pop it down on there, so I was going to have to do it a little bit different way. So what I did was I flipped my border, my frame, if you will, upside down, and I glued each end together with the hot glue gun because we wanted it just enough just to stick, right? That's all we needed. And then we put our little popsicle sticks down there so it would stick. And I was tickled to death because it actually stuck together. It looked great. I knew this was what it was going to need in order to look right. It took us forever to get the pieces together. But the important part is that we did get it together. And guys, once we got it together, I was so super proud of this. Wait till you see it. Bow, chicka wow wow wow. Wow 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 wow. Bow, chicka wow wow wow. Wow, chicka wow. I am so proud of this, guys. I am just super proud of this. I hope you like it as much as I do. I know I'm totally excited, but I just go crazy over farmhouse signs, guys. I love to do farmhouse, but there's something about a good farmhouse sign that just, it just really gets me right there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're so funny. Oh, you're so funny.
That He's just so crafty and so cute. All right, guys, I got to stop being silly now. This is our last DIY, DIY number 4. And if you've stuck through all the way to this last DIY, I want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I just appreciate each and every one of y'all. If y'all weren't here watching, then I wouldn't be here. And I really enjoy doing this. Thank you guys for giving me an outlet. I'm meeting new friends. I love to read your comments. I get so excited over the comments. And I just love doing this, guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Someone told me that if I take Mod Podge and paint it over my glass before I try to paint my glass, it will make my glass look better. You know, sometimes when you paint glass, it gets kind of streaky or thick looking. I can't really describe it, but I mean, if you craft, you know what I'm talking about. It doesn't always turn out beautiful looking. So I got this piece, this little set. It's 2 glass jars and this little crate they come in from the Dollar General. It was on clearance. It was very cheap. So I decided I was going to try out what everybody said. Let's paint this up with Mod Podge and let's just see what happens. So while I was letting my jars dry, I ran over to that Cricut again, guys. And I wanted to do a reverse stencil method thing. I didn't want to do that until I pulled it apart. And then I thought, hey, I want to stencil this. So that was kind of how this come about. So I decided to go ahead and do my little stencil. And of course I pulled off the middle parts, the little circle that goes in the R and the little part that goes in the A. I didn't do that right, but I fixed it to where I could go back and do it. I told you I am no whiz at the Cricut, guys, but I've been wanting to try this anyway. So I decided I'd give it a whirl to see what it's going to come out looking like. And I come up with Bless This Farm. I thought that was pretty, plus farm instead of farmhouse, because it goes with my little sign that I got. So I kind of got a theme going in case you hadn't noticed yet. So I got everything laid out there to where I could do my stencil, and I used a little sponge that I have for stenciling. I used my Waverly white chalk paint. I went across it, and you dab it. You don't push it around or anything. You just dab it because it will bleed up under there, and you don't want that. So I thought it looked great when I was finished. There was a couple little places I had to touch up, but it was no big deal whatsoever. It looked awesome. So then after that, I took my glass jars, they're dry at this point, and I went over them 2 times. I did 2 coats on these glass jars.
Miss you so bad, won't you come back to me? I've got you in my head, you're all that I see. I've lost all my chances, I know that I am too late.
I noticed when I took out my dryer and I started drying these bottles that it was creating a crackle effect. Do you know what I'm talking about, where it looked crackled, the paint looked crackled? Well, I thought that looked adorable. Then after that, what I did was I took my little crate that says Bless This Farm, because I had a couple little touch-ups. I took a white paint pen and a paint brush and just kind of straightened it up a little bit. And guys, I want to show you the detail. Can you see the crackle in these? Like, that's not what I was expecting whenever I did this, but that's what I got. And I was really, really happy with it. I thought, man, when I distress that, it's going to look awesome. Like, just out of the park awesome. So I got my paint brushes, and I'm going to try my mineral paint by Waverly. So we put a little bit of that on our brush, and at first I just lightly went over my glasses because I didn't know what I was going to be getting into. So at first I just kind of went real carefully, and then I thought, oh my goodness, it was one of those happy little mistakes. Like, or not really a mistake, but something that you weren't expecting. And it turned out better than I ever expected. And I was like, woohoo! So at that point, I went nuts on the distressing when it came to those little crackles all in that bottle. I tore that distressing up, y'all. I went all over those bottles because it just looked so good. Wait till the end when you see this. And I don't even know if the camera's going to do it justice. Y'all, sometimes there's things that comes out and the camera just cannot capture its beauty. Look at this. Like, I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't think you probably can from way up here. But in a minute, hopefully, I'll be able to show you. I also went back right here with the mineral and distressed over Bless This Farm and all over this crate, because I had forgotten to distress it while ago. I just love the way that this mineral chalk paint looks when you're distressing. Like, if there's a dark color, it doesn't matter what the color is, especially that antique wax. That mineral just does something. Like, the white is almost too bright and too stark sometimes when you're trying to distress. But when you've got a dark color like this and you throw that mineral over it, it's just beautiful. It's one of my favorite combinations when you're distressing. Guys, I want to tell y'all again, thank you so much for coming to my channel, for watching my stuff. I know I'm silly a lot of times, but I really do appreciate each and every one of y'all. I just like to laugh and have fun. I mean, guys, boy, everything that's going on with the world right now, if we can't laugh and have fun, we might as well just give it up. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it's rough everywhere right now. So if we can come together and lift each other up and laugh and giggle and be silly for a little bit, or do something that we enjoy doing, like our crafts, to get our minds off of everything, then so be it. You know, that's the way I look at it. So be it. And I hope that you guys will subscribe if you haven't already. I've only been on YouTube for about 3 months. I've got so much more coming. We've got the She Shed craft room coming up, so I'm super excited about that because I've been cramped in a tiny room for a while. I mean, I'm thankful I've got a little room, you know, to do my stuff in, but I have way outgrown that room. I need more room. I need to be able to breathe and get around, you know, and do my thing. And so that I'm just really excited right now. And we're almost at 100 subscribers. I'm just a couple away from 100. So guys, tell your friends about our channel. You know, if they don't know, let people know. Give me some comments. Let me know of things that you like to see, things that I could do that could make it better. Just whatever. Just let me know. I'm open for suggestions. I just appreciate y'all so much. Hey, I took this gingham ribbon here, and it was really thick, so I knew that I was going to have to split it in half, or roll it in half. So I rolled it in half a couple of times, and I just made just a shoestring bow tie, and I cut off the bottoms, dovetailed them, and they were pretty short. And then I fluffed them up, and they looked so cute. They reminded me of like like those ascots that men wear. That's what they reminded me of when I got finished with them, because they were so fluffy. But they turned out so cute, these little bottles did. And I stuck them back in there in my little crate. and I was tickled to death. I don't know if my Mod Podge was old or what the reason why it crackled and it streaked like it did, but hey, I'm happy it did. It turned out cute. I took my lamb's ear here from Walmart, and then these are peonies, I think is how you say it, peony, and I got these off of Amazon. These are the cutest little flowers. They're my favorite flowers ever. I was trying to figure out how in the world to get those in there to make them look right. But I think I finally did figure it out, or else I just finally gave up in the end. But anyways, I want y'all to see the final product. Here it is, here it is. I just think it's beautiful. And I was right. The camera could not capture the beauty of, it just looks like I've just distressed the front of that, but you have no idea how beautiful that looked in person. Like, it was still crackled, and it was like, can you see that? It's like split and crackled and distressed, and these were just beautiful, guys. I mean, they just turned out so pretty, and I just hope that I made you guys smile today. I hope that I made you happy. Here's all my DIYs together. Man, I'm just really proud of these guys. I am super duper proud of them.
I don't know what it is you do. I just want you. I just need you. I don't know what it is you do. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Just tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire. You stole my heart, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added colors. Like the moon needs the sun, we don't care about the others. You set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire. I don't know what I'd do without you. You make me smile, what is it that you do? My life was great till you.
Well, guys, we're right here at the end of the video. Thank you, everyone that stayed to the very end. I appreciate you. I can't say that enough. Stay safe, and God bless you till I see you again.